guys, so I decided to make a video about something kind of crazy that's been going on in my life in this house that I live in. Usually I don't buy into this stuff because I'm assuming that most people are making stuff up or just saying things for views, or I don't know, making things up in their head and thinking that they're true and hearing things and, you know, taking it for things that it's not. But in my opinion, like, I genuinely think that I'm being haunted, and I'm not saying that for clickbait. I just had some very crazy experiences here that I feel are unexplainable, and I just thought that I would share them with you guys and see if you feel the same way, that they're unexplainable events, or if you can find some reasonable explanation for them and maybe let me know so I'm less scared in my own house. These things that have been happening for a few years now and have been just building up over time, and I don't know, it just, this house just gives me the creeps. This story starts in the 80s, long before I was born. My grandpa built this house and he raised his 5 children in it with my grandma. And in the 80s, when my dad was born, he experienced a couple of weird events that to him seemed unexplainable as well. The first one being that his older siblings would slam doors to scare the younger kids, and that was just a joke. After who knows how long, they stopped pulling that prank on them and the doors just started to slam shut on their own, which my dad and his siblings witnessed by themselves. They didn't just hear the door slamming, they saw the door slamming shut and opening and shutting again on their own. Fast forward a couple of years or so, my dad was in his bedroom. He was just sitting there and he had a bookshelf in his room. One of the books flew out and hit him. And at first, this story didn't seem very believable to me. It seemed kind of made up because it just seemed a little bit too crazy and out there, until I said to him,
"Wow, I can't believe that The Shining flew out and hit you."
And then he said,
"I didn't tell you what book it was."
I just knew. Later on, around the 90s, I think, they had somebody die in their house. And I'm not going to explain the events of that, but that kind of spooks me out just a little bit. Just a little bit. Now moving on to my own personal experiences. I don't think that I ever really recognized anything as being spooky or more spooky than any child does, because obviously children get spooked out by things that mean nothing quite often, and I'm sure that I did a lot of that. But the first memorable event that I have that does still make me question things happened in around 2013. And this was when I was with my friends. We were in my grandparents' pool room and we were swimming, then we took a shower in that same area, and then we left the room to go get shampoo from my grandma's bathroom because we didn't have any. We made sure to shut the shower off. We all remember distinctively shutting that shower off. We come back and the shower was back on again. It was really weird because if I was the only one that had remembered shutting the shower off, then I might have just been like, oh, well, I guess I thought I did, but I didn't. We all remembered that happening, and we were all very confused when we went back to the shower and it was running again. Around this same time, Gabby and I would four-wheel around the backyard, and we repeatedly saw some kind of dark figure in one of the vintage cars in my grandparents' backyard. I'm sure over the next few years there were many events that made me question things, that made me a little bit scared, but I don't remember anything specifically happening till around 2017. My friends Gabby and Mia were with me in my grandparents' theater room, and we were not watching anything. We were just goofing around. I don't even remember what. But we all started hearing this really creepy banging coming from the roof. And we checked it out and there was nothing, but we still heard the banging. And so we ran into my grandma's closet and we were all terrified. So we slept in her closet with a bunch of quilts. I think I was around 16 at the time. Because things like this have happened multiple times now, it does make me a little bit scared still. Later on the same year, I was with Gabby in the theater room again. It was just her and I, and we had both fallen asleep in there. I woke up to go to the bathroom, and I walked down the hallway, this hallway that is always dark and just has this terrifying presence to me. I don't know why, I always just run past it. When I want to go to the kitchen from my room, I run right past it because it just terrifies me looking into that dark hallway. Not to mention at the end of that dark hallway is a red door, which doesn't make things any less creepy considering that it has kind of an Insidious vibe if you've ever seen that movie or those movies. But anyways, I'm getting kind of off topic. I went to the bathroom in the middle of the night and I was in that hallway where the bathroom was. I saw and heard footsteps from underneath the door. I was absolutely terrified. I waited there for who knows how long, and then I ran out, and then I ran into my grandma's art room, and there was a door leading to the outside directly from that, so I ran out of that door, and it was around 2 in the morning, but I called my grandma and I was like, there's somebody in your house. There is a person walking around. I hear their footsteps. I saw their footsteps, and she checked it out and there was nothing. So those two things spooked me out a lot. That is all I can remember for that time period. Fast forward to 2018 when things kind of just started taking a weirder turn. My dad at the time decided to sleep upstairs in my grandparents' game room for other reasons, and he heard banging noises coming from downstairs. That's not much, except for the fact that that room that he was sleeping in terrifies me for many reasons that I'm going to share with you throughout the course of this video, and the fact that there just seems to be mysterious banging noises constantly when everyone's gone or when it's just my grandma that's left in the house and she's asleep. Around the same time, I was getting ready to go on my trip that I went on, that I vlogged and you guys saw if you watched it, where I went to Australia and Bali and China. I was trying to film a pack with me video, and I was filming that in my grandparents' living room. I filmed the whole thing, and then towards the end of the video, I thought that I saw something behind me in the camera. And so I stopped the video and was gonna just start a new video from there and finish it. But I wanted to look back on the video to see if there actually was something. And when I went to go play the video, it was just a black screen with no sound, which freaked me out a little bit, I gotta say. I do say so myself. It was a little scary. My cousin Zoe also took a video here and thought that she saw something in the background, and so then she went to watch it and her screen was black as well. Or the video might have just been completely gone. I can't remember which one it was. Then we go to 2019. This is when shit started getting real. I was constantly having friends over to the house, and they would always mention to me that they saw people walking around upstairs in that upstairs game room that I mentioned, and we would always say that there was nobody there, but people would say that they saw people up there and was wondering who else was home. Oftentimes I would drive by the house and the light up there would just be on constantly. It will always be on. No matter how many times you turn it off, the light just comes back on. Then things just started randomly appearing that didn't belong to anybody and then disappearing. From that point, things just started escalating. One night I was with Gabby, and my cousin Zoe and my aunt Jacoba happened to live in the house as well, which I felt the need to mention for the purpose of this part of the story. And I started hearing super loud banging from upstairs, that same room where people have seen things and heard things. And I freaked out because I knew for a fact that everyone was in bed and no one else was home. So I go and grab Gabby, and she was hearing it too. She heard the banging and we were just freaking out. So we went into Zoe's room, my cousin, and we woke her up because we were very scared, and she immediately started hearing it. And we all went into my aunt Jacoba's room, grabbed her, she heard the banging. And then we went upstairs to check it out. And as we do, we grabbed kitchen knives, anything we could if there was an intruder. No one was there. There was absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. Did you hear that? Nothing at all. I'm guessing you guessed that. Insert suspenseful music here. I forgot forgot to mention, by the way, that they rebuilt the house since the house burned down, so it is in the same location. The rooms are just spaced differently. And this upstairs room is actually where the girl who died here's room used to be. So that's a little freaky. Just putting it out there. Just you know, throwing it, tossing it a little. Then one night I was at a hotel with my mom and Gabby was staying in my bedroom by herself. She told me that she started hearing terrifying laughing that sounded like an old lady coming from the other side of the wall. And she called me really late, like crying and nervous because she heard that. And Gabby isn't usually the type to do stuff like that, so it had me a little freaked out. I didn't really know if it was true or not until I heard it myself in my grandma's room. But it was not my grandma, just saying. She was asleep. I was watching her. That sounded a little creepy. Then one day, I went to take a shower. Just a nice old shower, and I didn't know what was coming. So I turned the shower on to heat the water up before I got in, and I got sprayed because the shower head was turned towards the toilet instead of the shower. And that by itself was a little bit weird to me until I looked in the shower tub and it was full of dirt and there was black hair in the drain. And I don't have any friends with long black hair. Nobody was using my bathtub, I'm certain of it. It really freaked me out. And I wish I could say that that's the only time that that happened. It happened once more, and then my friends and I decided to have a little seance, which probably was not the best idea. We should have done something to get the spirits out, not bring them in closer. Luckily, that didn't really do anything. Nothing exponentially creepy happened after that, more so than what had already happened. I can't explain why we did that except for we're a little dumb. Did you hear Alexa going off just now? There wasn't anybody in the freaking kitchen. My grandma's asleep. Anyways, so next event, my friend Mia started hearing piano playing coming from the room next to me, which used to be my bedroom. This is my bedroom now. And I didn't really know if I should believe her or not, but given the circumstances and everything that has happened in this house, I didn't want to doubt it. And I definitely didn't doubt it when I heard the same thing as well. And I have heard that multiple times now. I heard it the other day, literally a few days ago, with Gabby sitting on my bed right here. I heard piano playing coming from in there when absolutely nobody was here except for my grandma, who doesn't play piano. And then a few days ago, I also found dirt and black hair in my drain in this shower, which is now my bathroom, and it kind of scares me. Honestly, I'm still a little bit scared. Things haven't happened since 2019 until recently things started happening again. I really think that I live in a haunted house, but you tell me what you think, because that's what I believe, and that's all of the information that I have that I remember. I'm sure that there's much more instances that I kind of just brushed off or that I can't remember right now. Give me your opinion in the comments, because I really want to hear what they are. I'm kind of tripping out a little here. That is all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next one. Thank you very much. Okay, goodbye. Nice day.